Carnival's flagship Mardi Gras is sailing for the first time today, and another major cruise line is finally sailing again. Those stories and more next on the Cruise News Week in Review. Hey everyone, I'm Mark, and welcome back to the Cruise World. The first story I want to talk to you all about today is one that hits close to home for me. Yesterday, Carnival welcomed members of the media, local officials, and travel professionals to board the Mardi Gras to sample the food and entertainment on the company's flagship that has her inaugural sailing today. But earlier this week, as crew were making final preparations for the voyage, a crew member from Brazil died of an apparent suicide. Now, this past year and a half has been stressful for many. And though many crew members are beginning to return to work and what we see is their smiling faces, we can't always see the struggles that they have, the demons that they may have lurking. If you're struggling with depression or have thoughts of suicide, please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. I lost my brother Scott to suicide in 2015, and our family is a strong supporter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. For more information about AFSP, I've put a link down in the description. Now I want to talk to you real quick about the Florida versus the CDC story that I had on last week's show. I usually recorded the show on Friday night, so I wasn't able to factor in the last-minute, late-night reversal decision from the U.S. Appeals Court. I did immediately add a comment with that update, and surprisingly, no one called me out on it, but I just thought I'd put that out here. And as of right now, I haven't seen any changes to how the cruise lines are approaching business in Florida, but we will keep a close eye on that. For months, we've talked about the various cruise lines around the world operating safely, and more recently, the cruise lines have restarted operations right here in the United States. But one major cruise player whose name you hadn't heard in the restart news was Norwegian Cruise Line. But now that has changed as the Norwegian Jade sailed from the port of Athens earlier this week, becoming the first ship in the fleet to welcome passengers in 500 days. President and CEO of NCL, Harry Sommer, said, "Welcoming our guests and crew on board has been one of the most memorable moments of my over 30-year career. We are excited to embark on the great cruise comeback with a brand new itinerary and home port for our brand, offering our guests an even greater selection of unique vacations at sea." This week, MSC officially took delivery of their new flagship, MSC Seashore, from Fincantieri's Malfacone shipyard. The 4,560-passenger Seashore is the largest cruise ship ever built in Italy. The Seashore is also the first cruise ship in the world to feature the new groundbreaking air sanitation system, Safe Air, which uses UVC lamp technology, which eliminates 99% of airborne viruses and bacteria. The Seashore will begin her inaugural season in the Mediterranean before departing Genoa on October 18th for an 18-night repositioning cruise to Miami, where she'll then begin sailing 7-night Caribbean cruises on November 20th. It had been more than 16 months since Puerto Progreso in Mexico's state of Yucatan had seen a cruise ship full of passengers. That all changed this week when they welcomed the Carnival Breeze and her 2,825 passengers and over 1,300 crew members. We talk about it all the time, how important cruising and tourism is to so many port communities around the world. And I had a chance to witness it firsthand just a few weeks ago on the Carnival Vista, as we were the first cruise ship to return to Mahogany Bay in Roatan since the pandemic started. So it's pretty cool right now. We are leaving Roatan, and we were the first cruise ship to make it back to this port since the pandemic, and a lot of the workers and the military and the crew from the port are down on the pier right now, and they're waving and whistling and cheering. We know that they are happy to have the cruise ships back, and we're happy to be back. Our full vlog from that day in Mahogany Bay will be available here on the Cruise World channel on August 2nd. We are just a little over a week away from Disney Cruise Line's resumption of service, with the Dream sailing out of Port Canaveral beginning August 9th. Dream's sister ship Disney Fantasy will be conducting test voyages later in August, and they plan to resume passenger sailings on September 4th. As of right now, Disney Cruise Line passengers will not be required to show proof of vaccination on these sailings from Florida, but they will be subject to pre-embarkation PCR and antigen testing, as well as other protocols. Guests aged 2 and older will also be required to wear face coverings in the terminal and on board the ship, except in certain designated areas, such as dining rooms. And while Disney is known for catering to the younger crowds, the company has unveiled new experiences for adults on their newest ship, the Disney Wish. That ship is set to sail in June of 2022. In addition to the previously announced Star Wars-themed lounge and Beauty and the Beast-inspired fine dining experiences, the Disney Wish will feature the Senses Spa. That's a dedicated outdoor relaxation space with whirlpool spas, plush loungers, and yoga sessions. Wish will also feature the Untangled Salon, Hooks Barbery, and numerous new nightlife options like the Keg and Compass Pub, the Bayou Lounge inspired by The Princess and the Frog, and Nightingales, a refined piano lounge inspired by Cinderella. For all of us grown-up Disney lovers who have been asking for more adult-driven entertainment and relaxation options at sea, your wish has been granted. Mainstream cruising is back in Alaska, and between now and August, 6 major cruise lines and 7 different ships will be operating in the region. Royal Caribbean Group got the party started on July 19th with Serenade of the Seas and Celebrity Millennium on the 23rd. And then Carnival Corporation took their turn with Holland America Line's New Amsterdam, Princess Cruise Line's Majestic Princess, and the Carnival Miracle starting service this past week. Norwegian Cruise Line will join the group next weekend with the Norwegian Encore resume service. And last but definitely not least, Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas will sail starting August 13th. In addition to all of those major players, several other companies will have ships sailing in the Alaska region, including Silversea, Lindblad Expeditions, America Cruise Lines, Uncruise, and Alaskan Dream Cruises. And though it's great to see cruising and tourism restarting in Alaska, local businesses are a long way from the recovery from the devastating effects that the pandemic had on the state. Royal Caribbean Group and the Alaska Travel Industry Association recognize this, and they've partnered to assist more than 60 tourism businesses and community organizations. So far, over 65 businesses have been awarded over $745,000, with each grant being between $3,000 and $75,000 based on their applications. The recipients will receive the money between now and November and can use that money towards immediate needs such as staffing and equipment. Last week, all 3 of the cruise stocks saw decent gains, but this week they backed off just a little, with all posting minor losses from last week's closing bell. Royal Caribbean slid just over 1%, finishing at $76.87 a share. Carnival Corporation and PLC dropped about 1.5% to close at $21.65 a share. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings ended the week at $24.03. That's a loss of 3.43% from a week ago. We appreciate you tuning in for the latest cruise news today. If you love cruising, we'd love it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that thumbs up button. We're boarding the Mardi Gras next Saturday, and we have a ton of great content coming your way. Remember, life is short and cruising is fun. We'll see you next time.